Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Gridiron Reprobates podcast. Now, as ever, this is a podcast aimed at a mature audience, so we may talk about adult themes and use coarse language.
Fuck sticks.
Oh, good. Another new one. Thanks, Phil.
Welcome.
So let's introduce everybody. We've got Mr. Fucksticks himself, Phil. How's it going, Phil?
I'm good. How are you?
Can't complain really. And back from a short hiatus, it's our Dutch friend, Baz. How's it going, Baz?
I'm pretty well. Looking forward to this show.
Excellent. And as Ryan is under the weather and can't make it, we have roped in a very special guest. It's the Gridiron Gentleman's own Dan McLaughlin. How are you, Dan?
Hello, I'm really excited to be here. I've been looking forward to this. So, I'm usually busy on Thursday nights, and this is actually here, and I can say swear words as well.
You can say swear words.
Yeah.
Boobs.
Yes, great.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Is that a freeing release for you, Dan?
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
Like
I've been holding on to it. I hardly ever swear otherwise.
He's been holding on to that boobs all day.
Yeah.
Well,
just looking for an out for his boobs.
Need to lose a little bit of weight, so yeah.
So let's kick off the podcast the same way we always kick off the podcast, talking about the Thursday night game that we predicted, and it was terrible. It was a terrible football game. It was marginally better than the week before. It's terrible football game, but that was an insanely low bar to clear. Thank God it's over, and we don't really have to talk about it ever again. Has anybody got anything to say about the horror show that was Bears Commanders?
Yeah, I do.
Go on then, Dan.
On the Sunday, it meant that I didn't have to watch any games like this. So I quite enjoyed that I'd got that out of the way on Thursday night.
More Thursday night games for the Bears for you then?
Yeah, all Thursday night games, because most of the time I'm in bed. So I then don't have to watch them and can focus on the four good teams that are in the league. So
four good. Yeah. So anybody else, or should we move swiftly on?
I mean, it doesn't mean we don't have to deal with it.
I already blocked it from him.
Yeah, no Commanders on Red Zone. It's a better Sunday for everyone.
You generally don't get much of the Commanders on Red Zone, to be fair, so it's like a normal Sunday.
What you usually see is you watch Carson Wentz go from this position to this one.
A lot of him running as well.
Just, Oh, he's lost the ball. We're showing this because the other team got the turnover and a touchdown. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, maybe this week we won't see him, so maybe we'll see something better with Heineke.
I mean, it's funny because it's true. So let's move away from terrible football and let's talk about terrible fans. I am pretty narked off by my own team's fan base this week, because they have been bleating on and on about our defense and how bad our defense is. Get a grip, Tampa Bay fans. Our defense is fine. Do you know what the problem is? Our problem is our fucking crappy offensive line and our terrible, well, he's not terrible, but he's playing terrible quarterback. We get to the red zone 5 times and score 1 touchdown. That's the reason we lost the game. In the previous game where we couldn't beat, where we nearly lost to the Falcons, the reason we nearly lost to the Falcons is because the offense couldn't get off the field and went 4 and out in 48 seconds twice. The problem with this team is not the defense. Stop ragging on the defense. It's the quarterback, it's the offensive line, and it's a play caller who decides that we can't deviate from the game plan. We have to keep doing what we're doing despite not having the pieces to do it. The problem is the offense. Stop ragging on the defense. The defense is fine. Only one team scored more than 2 touchdowns against us. Rant over.
Yeah, your offense is boring.
Our offense is terrible. Absolutely terrible.
It's dull. It's dull and predictable. It looks like the Packers' offense.
Well, whoa. Steady on, Phil. Steady on.
How did they do this weekend? I might have missed that.
More on that later, Dan.
Fuck Aaron Rodgers, that's why.
No, our offense is legitimately awful, and our quarterback is playing really badly. His stats going into the half and the last game were 5 for 12 for 70 yards. That's not Tom Brady.
No.
That's the quarterback who ended up beating us.
There's
really
no
off, like-
flow. There's no flow to what the Bucs are trying to do at the moment. Like, it's just they run the ball when they should be throwing the ball, and they throw the ball when they should be running the ball, and there just doesn't seem to be any kind of game plan in place that makes any sense to what they're facing on defenses. And it is just, it's off. Something is off. They're off kilter. You can't. It's
It's pretty clear what's off. It's Tom Brady's home life. So.
I mean, it's
Well,
almost as if going through a divorce is a traumatic and difficult experience.
Yeah.
Says the man who's been through a divorce.
Well, was your quarterback play really down when you went through your divorce, Phil?
I mean, if I'd been a quarterback, maybe. Who knows?
I mean, to be fair to Giselle, Luke Godek is not a very good guard. He is a turnstile, and I don't think it's all. I'm not saying it's not. Giselle doesn't have her part to play, but terrible. The centre play is not great. That I was getting pissed off watching Cameron Hayward wreck shop all game against us with the Steelers. But even when Brady, but the thing that's annoying me is that even when Brady has time, he's still chucking ball at receivers' feet. And like, you're supposed to be the GOAT. You've got time to throw the ball. Be better. Stop throwing it at Chris Godwin's ankles.
Yeah, he's not really playing like the GOAT. He's just playing like a GOAT.
And maybe it's the problem is time for finally, perhaps.
I mean, don't say it. Just
no,
like
no, we're not talking about any kind of decline.
Nah.
Because
It's
we're going to say that, and he's going to throw for like 4 touchdowns this weekend, and it's going to be unbearable.
We are playing the Panthers. It's a distinct possibility.
Yeah, I think this might be a good fit game for you this weekend. I have that feeling.
is there going to be any
Yeah.
Panthers left on the team by the time you play them anyway?
Or just play against Sir Claw or whatever his name is, the guy that Robbie Anderson doesn't know. Sir Paw? I don't know what the mascot's name is. I barely know what our mascot's name is.
Sir Purr. I
Sir
think.
Purr.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's terrible.
Oh, God.
Wow.
It's not good. The Robbie Anderson thing was funny though, but yeah, I'm sure we'll get to that in a bit at some point. So it's
What's funnier, Dan? Is it funnier that he managed to finagle his way out of the Panthers by yelling at his position coach, or is it funnier that the Cardinals actually gave 2 picks away for him?
and the answer to that question is yes. And it's so for starters, I can only imagine you get back from the game, there's a ring, it's Arizona. Yeah, you can have him, put the phone straight back down, and then just carry on about their day. It's just
And you wake up next day, they're giving us what? Really?
Oh, cool. Stuff.
well, they're actually giving us something. I was just
And
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Carolina is basically a fire sale right now. It's just, if you pick up the phone and call them, they're just going to say yes for any of their
except
more expensive players.
yeah,
Which player are you after? Okay, yeah, that's fine.
but the price tag they have given McCaffrey is too high. Multiple
what's the price
first.
they've given him?
That's insane.
What was
is
it?
it just one first?
The reports I've heard were multiple firsts.
That's crazy.
Which,
No.
yeah,
That's a bit
even one.
especially when you can't stay on the field.
I think if you get a first, you should be very happy with it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that would.
because let's be honest, a prime McCaffrey is perfect, but he hasn't been healthy in 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Prime McCaffrey, you'll get Prime McCaffrey, but you'll get him for 5 games out of the season.
Yeah,
Is Prime McCaffrey when he takes on the Matrix after Optimus dies in the Transformers film? Is that the person? Is that who I'm thinking of? Is that the guy?
if it gets him healthy, yes, please.
He's how much better does Christian McCaffrey make your team
Depends on
throughout
your
the
team.
season?
Yeah, pretty much any team he makes better.
Yeah.
But
For 4 games.
if you're gonna pay for him, you need to be in a win now mode.
Yeah.
So
There's no point you sacrificing a pick if you're not a contender.
yeah,
I just think if the Bills are the main people going for it,
Yeah.
right? If they're
No.
if they gave up a first and they get to the Super Bowl and they just get absolutely demolished like the Bengals did on the offensive line last year, I think they're going to be pretty annoyed when they get to the draft next year and they haven't got a first round pick to spend on an offensive lineman. That's kind
Yes.
of how I look at it.
Haven't they? What did they? Oh no, they signed Von Miller in free agency, didn't they?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I thought they gave up pick. They definitely traded. They gave up picks for someone in this offseason. Did they? Or am I getting confused? I think I'm
trying to
getting
think.
confused.
yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna back away from this this train of thought. I mean, just circling back slightly, it is a really good piece of business for the Arizona Cardinals because they are definitely another receiver away from being an elite team, and that also means that
Offensive line
they've
and
given up.
various other things. But yeah,
It also means they've given up 4 picks this season on receivers. 2 receivers, 4 picks.
So
you can
Hollywood
get
Brown.
receivers that good with those picks. I'm just saying.
what I find particularly annoying is the deal they got for DeAndre Hopkins was really good. Like they got DeAndre Hopkins for a second round pick, and then they went and got. Just realised my little lights on the thing. Hang on, there we go. It's better. And so it's they got a second round pick for. They gave a second round pick for DeAndre Hopkins, and then they gave a first for Marquise Brown. It's like that's not the way around. You do that, surely.
No, especially since AJ Brown was on the market.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mhm. For less.
Yeah,
Just I don't entirely understand what the Cardinals are doing. I don't think if Robbie Anderson was after less dysfunctional, I don't think he's gone to the right team because it's about 3 losses away from being fuck it, let's start again. Like they're not good. So yeah,
No, their offense is basically just chaos mode at all time. Just Kyler, do something.
yeah. And he's quite good at it, to be fair. But they are like if,
he can scramble for half an hour on that field, but in the end, it's not going anywhere. And the defense isn't any good either. So
they didn't score a touchdown on offense against the Seahawks defense. That Seahawks defense is not good. Okay, we give up a shit ton of points. Admittedly, we score a shit ton of points. That's how we won games. But if you can't score your own touchdown against us, there's something very, very wrong with your offense. If you're relying on a fumble and your defense scoring it, then something's a bit off. Especially when you've got someone like Kyler, who's such a creative force on offense, who can create so many problems. I don't understand what's going on.
yeah, they have the weapons. So
Mm-hmm. Hi, Duncan.
Is this the last season of Cliff Kingsbury?
Yep.
He just signed a 5-year extension.
yeah, along with
So it's
Steve
the last
Kime.
season.
Like, what happened? Steve Kime, Cliff Kingsbury, and Kyler Murray all signed like massive extensions. Absolutely bonkers.
You're going to have to pick someone here. Either there's something wrong with Kyler Murray, which I don't think there is. There's something wrong with the scheme, which I think there is. Or there's something else wrong somewhere behind the scenes, which it could well be.
Yeah, at the moment, I think you have to run with Kyler.
Yeah.
I mean, he has shown enough to give him the benefit of the doubt. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting what's going to happen with it.
So, you know the meme where Kyler Murray can't perform when it's double XP weekend on Call of Duty?
Yes.
It was a double XP weekend on Call of Duty, wasn't it?
Well, people are concerned because the new COD comes out today, and like he's got a big game ahead of him.
Yeah, I mean, he's really got to get his KDR up, otherwise he's not going to become a pro gamer.
Yeah, like if you lose a day on COD, you're behind straight
Yeah.
off the bat. When I used to play COD, I used to play at midnight and come back and start playing.
It came out today.
I believe it comes out at midnight tonight.
Oh, he'll be fine then, because
He'll
the
get
game
home
will
and
be
just, like,
finished,
get
and then
straight
he can
in
go
there.
home and play the game.
Ted won't
Sort
be in
of
the
get out
game.
of there as quickly as possible.
He'll be in
non-stop runs to shorten the game down so he can get home and play some COD.
Eat the clock.
Why is he just running in circles?
No one would
Can't catch
it.
me.
Can't catch me.
Please, no one would. I'm fairly sure he could run in circles and use that as a way of killing time.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the way to go. Just try and win by one touchdown.
I mean, no, let's not go there. So let's instead talk about potentially the second best team in the NFC. Are the Giants the second best team in the NFC?
By record, yes. Technically speaking, they are.
It is like winning the Blenheim and Sandy, or coming second in the Blenheim and Sandy and villages of surrounding areas beauty pageant, though, isn't it? Really, like you're not up against a great deal at the moment. it's all bad in the NFC, but they are 5-1, so they refuse to lose.
I mean, the only other team, that could be the second best team is the Vikings.
I don't know what the Vikings are.
Oh,
They're better than the Packers.
Yes. Yes, they are.
but the Giants are very surprising, at least. I mean, Dable turned it around very quickly to at least something that's watchable. I mean, last season they were unwatchable most of the time. So
Yeah, they're a bit like the Lions were last year. The Lions were entertaining and feisty last year, but what this Giants team are doing is winning, which the Lions did not. They had the ability to actually put up points and close out a game, which the Lions didn't really do last year and are struggling to do.
the biggest difference, I think, is the biggest difference in that is, I think, this Giants team definitely has talent on the roster.
Yeah.
Compared to last season's Lions, which was absolutely horrific.
I think the Giants understand what's happening in the NFL at the moment as well. So
Thank you for that, Duncan.
That was Danny. That was Danny
Nice one,
Galloway.
Oh, Danny Galloway. Sorry, for a D as you have Duncan.
The Giants got the memo that other NFL teams haven't, which is that defense is kind of winning games at the moment, and the way to beat these defenses is by running the ball a ton, and by utilizing the talent you've got. They've got no wide receivers on that team. They've got, I can't even remember his name. I mean, that's not a big deal for me because I couldn't remember no one's name usually, but they've got like it's a who's who of like. Was that sorry?
Have they still got Sterling Shepard?
They've still got Sterling Shepard, but that's not who I was thinking of.
Kadarius Tony.
No, not Tony. We'll get there eventually. Right, I'm just looking up our lads. But they've got like a who's who of average receivers.
I mean, we've just literally named like 4 anyway.
Yeah, and they weren't even the ones I was thinking of. And I just looked up the Dallas Cowboys. That was stupid, wasn't it? Yet what they do is they go, right, so Saquon's the hot hand, right? Darius Slayton, that was the person I was thinking of.
The other one.
The other one. And they use him as a decoy. Like if they're not using him, he's on the field, he's doing something, but it might not necessarily be catching the ball. They're making Matt Breida look like a decent running back. That takes some doing. And they're making just players, they're just utilizing every ounce of talent they've got on that team. And they're making defenses look a bit foolish doing it as well. when they're the only team in the league pretty much doing that at the moment.
And you've got to give some props to Brian Wheelbarrow Daboll and his ability to get the best out of what he has.
For a second, I was like, "Why wheelbarrow?" I'm like, "Oh no, wait, yeah, no, I know, yeah."
But to get the best out of the roster he has is incredible, and he's beaten. There are some cheap wins in their record, but they've also beaten the Packers and the Ravens, so it's not like they're beating complete scrubs all the time. I mean,
they beat one of the good teams there.
Yeah, the Ravens. Oh, well, the Ravens' offense is particularly good. But I mean, you've got to be impressed by, just his ability to maximize the talent level he's got, because it's not very high. Like we said earlier, it's Saquon and Saquon. So it's really, really, really impressive. And I think they are the second best team in the NFC, because I don't trust the Vikings. They have had a much softer schedule to date than the Giants have. So, yeah.
I think the Giants have like the third easiest schedule remaining as well. Something silly like that. The schedule gets really, really easy from this point. I might be wrong. I might have mixed up, but I thought theirs and the Eagles' schedule in general was quite easy this year.
It helps having being bad last year. So
so I think you can only beat who's in front of you, but
I think the NFC East's schedule is particularly easy. I mean, the two divisions they play. I don't think I'm saying stuff that I'm not looking at the facts, so I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, but no, I think you're right. It's just it's. I think the problem they might have is are they playing well enough to keep Daniel Jones next year?
Did they pick up his 5th-year option, or did they decline it already?
Declined it. Pretty certain.
Well,
anyway.
I think they're not going to keep him then.
No, I think so as well.
But I don't know if you're be out there for them. That's the problem. They're going to need a quarterback.
Jimmy G?
Is Jimmy G better than Daniel Jones? That is a quarterback competition I would not want to watch. Like, it's...
Mac Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, you've got Bailey Zappi now, so...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Now, but considering what might be available next year, I think Jimmy G is going to get a starting job somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Justin Fields?
Oh my God.
I mean, Carson Wentz will be available.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he needs to just join the Cowboys and he gets a free coffee or something.
Everyone in the NFC East.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what their draft capital situation is like, but if they want to draft someone, they're playing themselves out of contention to do that. So their options become limited, because I think we were saying that on a previous show when we were trying to work out who would replace Matt Ryan as the Colts quarterback, and there was slim pickings in the free agent market this season. Someone might be available via trade, you never know, but yeah, if they're looking to draft someone, winning games is the wrong way to go about doing it.
But I think even with trading for a quarterback, I think looking at what's happened with Russell Wilson at the Broncos, I think teams will be more standoffish on it. Fitting in a player from a complete new system quarterback, you just don't know if it's going to work out in the end.
Just going to say, there is a quarterback available potentially next year if the rookie comes in and does a good job at the team. And this quarterback loves kissing titties. Get Mitch in there into the Giants. They watch him win a Super Bowl with that team.
I would keep Daniel Jones.
I mean, get Mitch Trubisky, Daniel Jones, Carson Wentz, and Jimmy G all in there for training camp. Whoever is the best throughout, Andy Dalton, I send Andy Dalton in there as well. Just whoever's the best out of them gets the starting job, and televise it, turn it into a Netflix show. People will watch that.
I don't want to watch
I
that.
I would not be surprised if Andy Dalton wins that.
Oh my
Um,
god, that's oh my god. Oh my god.
I don't want any of that.
No.
Just have Saquon Barkley play Wildcat quarterback for the whole season.
Yeah, it's fine. It's working.
I turned my nose up so much when they started playing Wildcat.
Sure,
and
but they were doing it out of
working.
necessity. They were doing it out
Yeah.
of necessity.
But they are. But the NFL but time is a circle, because we're back to those Miami Dolphins teams that did quite
That is
well
why clocks around.
with the Wildcat as well, and it's kind of frustrating because that Giants team is very reminiscent of that Miami Dolphins team as well. Maybe a little less speed at receiver, not quite so good on special teams, but yeah. Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, you've stunned us all into silence with that revelation there, Dan.
Sorry.
So, let's move on and talk about potentially what has been the greatest game to date of the NFL season, where the Chiefs took on the Bills and lost in I thought was a very compelling game. It cheered me up no end after having to watch the Bucs implode like a flan in a cupboard. So, yeah, it was great. It was two quarterbacks performing at the top of their game. It was two defenses really scheming up well, trying to beat the other defense. I thought it's been the best game so far. It might not have had all the fireworks of some of the other games, but it had great play on both sides of the ball. Two coaches trying to out scheme each other. Yeah, it was a great watch. What do you guys think? Still thinking
Yeah.
about the time circle thing?
That's
Sorry.
That's why clocks around.
I think the Chiefs' defense was better than I expected. I expected the Bills' DB to be able to slow down Mahomes somewhat, but didn't expect the Chiefs' defense to keep up with that offense of the Bills. So that was a surprise. But then again, the Bills going into Arrowhead, winning, bodes very well for them for the rest of the season and going into the playoffs. Because let's be honest, most likely that's where they'll meet again. So
Well,
I don't see any AFC team stopping them either.
them getting the win probably means that the rematch is going to be at Buffalo rather than at Arrowhead.
Yeah.
One of the things I really like watching, Josh Allen in particular, is his ability to navigate in the pocket. It's Breeze-esque. Peak Breeze was one of the best movers in the pocket I've ever seen. And watching Josh Allen, who's a good half a foot taller than Breeze, do the same thing that Breeze can do is insane. And especially because the Bills' offense is so one-dimensional. They can't run the ball at all.
Well, they can.
Backwards.
No, Josh Allen can run the ball.
Fair. All right. Their running backs can't run the ball.
Yeah, they do nothing.
Yeah. They should never take Devin Singletary out of the game because he's the only one that can block.
Yeah.
So just keep him in the game the whole time. He's the guy you need to help Josh Allen get downfield. Use him like a fullback. Just keep him in the game and just watch Josh Allen run behind him.
Through, yeah.
Fullback, quarterback ISO. Love it.
Yeah. We got another Josh Allen hurdle, and they're always amusing because it looks like he's just stepping over them. So when you used to leap over little posts like pillars.
Yes, absolutely.
And you'd always have your tall mate who just literally lift a leg over and that's what Josh Allen. Yeah, Phil. Yeah, that's what Josh Allen looks like when he's leaping over someone. It's crazy.
Over it go.
He shouldn't be that aware when he's
Get
running.
away.
It's not fair that he's that good at throwing the ball and also that good at saying, right, I know this guy's coming low. I'm going to leap him as well. It's not fair.
Yeah, he's insane. We had a discussion last show about who we thought was better, Mahomes or Josh Allen, and I concluded that I thought Mahomes was playing better, but that Josh Allen was more important to the success of his team. But when Josh Allen is playing as well as Patrick Mahomes, I think he's actually unstoppable.
I've got a controversial viewpoint, which is that I think this game might have been slightly more entertaining than the actual playoff game last year.
That is a controversial viewpoint.
And I've got a reason as well, which is that both defenses this year are much better than they were last year. And as a result, we saw the two best quarterbacks in the league go up against actual worthy defenses rather than defenses they're just going to spend the whole game throwing over. We saw Patrick Mahomes have to have eyes in the back of his head when he's navigating the pocket. We saw some crazy stuff from him. And then we saw Josh Allen just equal Patrick Mahomes all the way. That throw for the touchdown to Dawson Knox was like inch perfect, and it was beautiful to watch that happen. It was two quarterbacks trying to figure out what they're up against throughout the whole game. And just as it got to the end of the game, we saw them go, right, I know what I have to do now. And those are the only two quarterbacks that could play those games in this particular matchup. Loved it. I think you're right. I think it was. I'd be hard pressed to find a better game this season because most of the teams are terrible. So.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Looking at true greatness on the field, on both sides of the ball, is much better than just offensive fireworks, and it's fun watching offensive fireworks. It's better than watching defensive fireworks and no offense, but
yeah.
If you look at the score, you think, oh yeah, it wasn't that great on the offense, but they still played both tremendously well.
So tight, it came down to Patrick Mahomes making a mistake, and the whole game came down to that in the end, which is, on a knife edge, really, isn't it? The whole game. So
yeah.
I love watching the Bills at the moment, but I'm gonna hate them in the next 5 years. Yeah, just feel that.
Yeah.
Oh, is the Patriots fan having a tough time? Oh,
not yet. In 5 years, I will.
Well, don't worry. You'll have Bailey Zappi to make it all better. So you're fine. You can compete with him very soon.
If that happens, yeah, I'm gonna be. It's gonna be weird. But if he comes even close to,
if Bailey Zappi is a legit quarterback, then the NFC East is going to be, the AFC East is going to be insane with a good Bailey Zappi, a good Tua Tagovailoa, a good Josh Allen, and Zach Wilson.
And Sauce Gardner picking them all off. Yeah.
Yeah. We should probably talk about that Jets game actually, just to make Daniel smile a little bit, because when the Pack lost to the Giants in London, it was a choke job by Aaron Rodgers at the end of the game. But I think 7 times out of 10, the Packers win that game, whereas they were completely annihilated by the Jets. The Jets' defense, their defensive line in particular, had an outstanding game against a much vaunted Packers offensive line. Josh must have been laughing all the way to the. Well, I don't know where Glaswegians go, but wherever Glaswegians go, Josh was laughing all the way to that place.
I could hear him over here. So
this is a non-regulation podcast for both your pod and ours, in the sense that there isn't a single Scottish person on this podcast at the moment.
Yeah, it's true.
That's not usually allowed. So yeah, at some point you always got to have one.
At least one.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it was fun, wasn't it? It's yeah.
Yeah, it's almost as if having someone like Robert Saleh, who is obviously a defensive mastermind as a head coach, who was a defensive mastermind in San Francisco, and I'm pretty sure that Niners team beat Aaron Rodgers more than once in the playoffs.
Yeah. They annihilate.
Barlett knows how to D up against Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He knows how to make his life miserable. I know I make the joke that Aaron Rodgers is a choker because he fucking is. But it's also because he had to come up against people like Robert Saleh and his brain, whose defensive brain is just like, I know how to deal with you. Nah.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it happens.
Take them anyway, so.
The Jets have put together a really good team. Like, just in general, their draft picks are insane. And it's one of those weird occasions where we've said, hey, the Jets have had a really good draft. And then we've got the season and gone, holy shit, they have had a really good draft. Amazing. It actually worked out this time. It's incredible. It turns out the 600-pound offensive lineman with the weak knees wasn't a great pickup a few years back, or whatever's been going on. But it's the Jets have put together a really good team this year.
Yeah,
Packers haven't.
It's we've seen other teams have 3 picks in the first round, and they've not all hit. So for the Jets to pick 3 players and have them all be good and really, really contribute in their rookie seasons is a great bit of business, and especially Sauce, who is looking like everything that was promised at the moment. Jets fans have got to be laughing all the way to wherever Glaswegians go.
The pub.
The pub.
Yeah, surely.
So, with that in mind, and considering how anemic the Packers' offense has looked, who's worried about the Packers? I mean, 2 people definitely aren't, but should Packers fans be worried about the Packers? Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah. They should be worried.
Why? Go on, sorry, Bass.
Yeah, they should be worried, but they have one big, huge luck, and they're playing in the NFC at the moment.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to make much difference. They keep losing.
Yeah, they keep losing, but so does most NFC teams at the moment.
The NFC's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But it's one of those that I don't think the reverberations of how significant the Giants' loss in London was until we got them back to Lambeau again, when they lost to the Jets. And then we realized, oh, shit, their fans are booing them. I've never heard that in Lambeau. And it's significant because all of a sudden, Packers fans are realizing, but 30 years our quarterbacks bailed us out. Whatever happens, 30 years our quarterbacks bailed us out. And one of their old quarterbacks might need bailing out at some point. But they always relied on the quarterback play, Hall of Fame quarterback play. And at some point, something's got to give. And at some point, they've got to look at their team and go, what have we got? Like Aaron Rodgers wanted a massive contract. He gets his massive contract, and it's at the expense of possibly the number 1 receiver in the league. The Chiefs do that. Andy Reid realizes they're doing that and then goes out and picks up 3 odd players that can actually put together a team. Whereas the Green Bay Packers didn't do that. They're relying on Alan Lazard as a deep threat against Sauce Gardner. And that is bonkers. Like, that's never going to work. So, okay, then they used Aaron Jones to run the ball 19 times in a game rather than give him another, like, your best players are your running backs. Have them on the field at both. This is going to sound very reminiscent if you listen to the Gridiron Gentleman podcast this week, because we go off on one about, like, to have them both on the field at the same time. So many teams in the NFL are doing that now, and it's working. The Chiefs do it. The Giants do it. Do something with both of those players because they are your best 2 players. So do something with them. And for goodness sake, stop allowing inside runs as well. It can't be that easy to run this Packers defense that was meant to be one of the best in the league. But you're just a team, and deal with it, Packers fans.
Then the question is Matt LaFleur any good as an offensive mind? Because I'm not seeing anything from him.
You mean, is he as good a head coach as Mike McCarthy clearly is?
No, I'm not having any of that.
I can't help
McCarthy
it.
is not the reason the Cowboys are good.
At some point, you have to give him credit.
No, it's all going
No.
to Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is the reason they're good because that defense is incredible.
Those two. Mike McCarthy's just walking around going, "Everything okay, you two? You both happy? Okay."
No, Mike McCarthy's there with his fold, with all his analytics in, and he's there going, 50%, huh? Oh, cool. Nickel. Yeah, okay. DVOA. Yeah, cool. Excellent. Cool. What? Excellent. Yeah, see, I know my stuff. Anyway, I'm going to get a massage.
Yeah, there we go. Case of the massage today.
It's, yeah. And I at some point feel like I have to give Mike McCarthy credit for that. But maybe Matt LaFleur is just not very good when it all goes wrong, because it's never all gone wrong for him.
I refuse to give Mike McCarthy any credit. It's not happening, Dan.
No.
Can't make me.
Okay.
Nope.
Sorry.
However, Dan Quinn.
on Mike LaFleur, it can't be that when the Packers were good, it was all Aaron Rodgers, and now Aaron Rodgers isn't playing very well. Mike LaFleur's not a very good coach.
No, it could be the Hall of Fame quarterback's not very good.
It could be, yeah. Aaron Rodgers is not playing
Or it
well.
could be that it was always Mike LaFleur wasn't very good and Aaron Rodgers was good, and now Mike LaFleur needs to step up because Aaron Rodgers is not playing well and he is not able to.
Mike LaFleur might be a problem. However, is it Matt? Which one's Matt and which one's Mike?
One of them, I don't know. One of the LaFleur.
Matt's the Packers one.
Okay.
Mike is the
Jets
Jets.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mike LaFleur actually had a very good game.
Oh, yeah.
Matt LaFleur, not so much. Real eyebrow raiser. There's some eyebrow he got on him as well. So
here is my counter argument to Matt LaFleur is not a very good coach. In the Giants game, there was 6 minutes left in the game, and the Packers got the ball back on their own 25 after the kickoff. They had to go bleed the clock, go down the field, and score some points to win the game. And I thought LaFleur did an excellent job of engineering that time-bleeding drive. He put the runs we called were great. He called some great little dump-off passes. Everybody executed flawlessly until the last 3 downs. Until the last 3 downs, it was going superbly. So I don't think he's a terrible coach. He might not be an excellent coach. He might not be in the same stratosphere as Shanahan or McVay or, I don't know, other good offensive coordinators. Sirianni. There we go. I thought of one. But I thought that was a really, really well constructed drive. Well played, a really well called drive. And yeah, then Aaron Rodgers forgets that defensive lineman can put their arms up and they lose the game.
it's possible that Aaron Rodgers is turtling a bit as well this year. Like you see, he's not making any deep throws because he's not even attempting to get anyone deep anymore. Like they are all within 20 yards, his throws, because he's doing that whole thing of, I want my stats to look good. I don't really think that's it, but I think there is like part of him going, I don't think I can make that throw because I don't trust the person I'm throwing to. He got asked if they were looking at bringing in other wide receiver help this week. He said, it's okay because Sammy Watkins is coming back. No one has ever said that. No one has ever said, it's okay, Sammy Watkins is coming back this week. So
Can you blame him?
yeah.
Because it's better than what's there.
Yeah, that's the disturbing point. Is Sammy Watkins is probably the best wide receiver of that group.
Yeah. Like, I'm not being funny, but currently, and I would never be one of these people because I'm better than this. It's looking like a mistake that they didn't at least try and hustle to get a first round wide receiver when you look at how good some of these first round wide receivers are playing this year. Your Chris Olaves, your Drake Londons, your Garrett Wilsons.
Yeah,
Although Garrett Wilson's dropped off cliffs and Zach Wilson came back. There's only room for one Wilson.
Funny.
And it turns out going for the 2nd and 4th round pick, thinking you know better than 31 other NFL teams, probably wasn't the right move with Christian Wilkins and Romeo Doubs.
I think picking receivers in those rounds is fine.
Yeah.
But not if you want instant impact.
Yes,
If you want instant impact, you need to draft in the first round. Because if you look at the good receivers who were taken in those rounds, Cupps, Adams, Godwin, they all slowly came along, and by their third year, fourth year, they became massive breakout players. So it's fine to take receivers in those rounds, but you've got to take them on the understanding that they're projects. If you want instant impact, you've got to draft in the first round.
They've all got something not quite right about them, because that's why they haven't been drafted in the first round. They're all like, he's 6'4", however, he's afraid of jumping, or something like that. And it's like, you've got.
I'm sorry, that's a terrible analogy, Dan. You can't have a receiver that's terrible at jumping.
Yeah, Gravity Mc feet plant. He's never going to make it. I don't know.
Having me as a receiver, completely stuck to the floor. I'm tall. I've got good hands, but I can't jump anymore because the knees are gone.
The point is, there's always something. There's always a reason why they haven't been drafted. That, and sometimes they'll hit. They will hit, and sometimes they say they'll get better. Sometimes they're incredibly raw, because sometimes they've been playing basketball their entire college career. But there's a reason that the first round picks go in the first round. And receivers, I haven't looked at the numbers on this. I might be wrong, but receivers tend to have, I assume, have a pretty high hit rate in the first round, apart from Kevin White, bless him.
Really?
I don't know. Sorry for killing conversations.
It's all right. It's all right. You're giving us food for thought. I'm not trying to think of terrible first round draft picks, but I can't. All right. So, have we got anything else we'd like to talk about from week 6 of the NFL season?
Sorry, Nelson Aguilar. Sorry, I thought I'd get in there. Yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, let's not talk about Nelson Aguilar. Yeah, I was wondering, at the start of the season, everybody would tell us the AFC West would be the best division in football. What actually is the best division in football at the moment?
NFC East. Outside of the Commanders.
Yeah. But if you take the Commanders in, I think it's between the NFC East or the AFC East.
Yes.
Hard agree.
And as a Patriots fan, I would not expect the AFC East to be in the conversation this year. I would expect the Bills to be good, but didn't expect any of the other teams to be decent, really. So,
sure. I think in a season where the good teams are dominated by good defense, then it makes a bit more sense that Bill Belichick can actually coach a defense. Everything he can possibly he's done that he doesn't get right. The thing he's always done right is coach up a defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something I hold on to. We always get better into the season because.
The problem with Bill Belichick is a bit too sentimental, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He wants to keep all those game balls that keep getting given to him, and just one of my favourite things I've ever seen.
No interest in that ball. He was like,
"Win me a ring."
Just fuck off. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the Commanders, the NFC East definitely. But I mean, at the moment, the fourth place is in the AFC East is the Patriots, and the Patriots over the Commanders is so much. The gap is so big.
Oh yeah, I mean the Commanders are awful.
Yeah,
I think it's possible that the Patriots aren't the worst team in that division as well. By the way,
I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
I think they might be better than the Jets. The Jets might. Sorry, Josh. The Jets might drop off a bit at some point.
I agree with that.
And we need to see what happens when Tua comes back for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Because without him, there are now three losses in a row. So.
Also, the Patriots on all their draft picks. Sorry.
With Tua, however, they were looking like a really good football team. And even that we're saying the Jets might fall off a cliff, they've still got a really good defense.
Yeah.
And the Commanders don't have a really good anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's not fair. They've got really good skill position players, but no one to get them the ball.
They've got a really good coach.
They've got a nice coach. Like he seems like a good guy.
Yeah, I like Ron Rivera.
I don't know. The guy still, and he's keeping Jack Del Rio. Around.
Yeah, I don't love that.
I get
Jack
the
Del
feeling
Rio is
Ron
neither
Rivera's
good,
not overly
and he's
thrilled
also a
about having to be-
racist. So yeah,
I genuinely get the feeling Ron Rivera's not overly thrilled with what's going on there. He doesn't seem very happy at the minute.
I think he's going to enjoy getting sacked.
Yeah, I think he's going to very much enjoy getting sacked and getting paid off.
Yeah.
What's that? You're going to pay me money to leave? Fine.
Ron,
Bye.
you don't appear to have any sentimental items on your
God.
desk anymore. Nope. Why? It's already in my
Why
bag.
why have you got everything in a box, Ron?
Back at my home office.
But yeah, yeah. No one expected the Broncos to fall off a cliff.
No.
No one expected that the Chargers hadn't sacked that doctor. And who else did we think was going to be good? Well, the Chiefs are good. So, you know.
The Chiefs
Yeah,
are
Raiders.
Raiders.
I expected the Raiders to be better than what they are.
Yeah.
I think
The Raiders are better than their record, to be fair.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, the Raiders are definitely better than their record shows. They had a tough start to the season. I think they will start to put some games together. I mean, the next game, the Texans, for fuck's sake. You can't beat the Texans, then you shouldn't be a football team.
The Bears beat the Texans,
Exactly.
There you go.
and it wasn't in a monsoon. By monsoon, I don't mean the popular clothing shop.
That would be weird.
It would be a weird place to play American football, wouldn't it?
That would be a weird place to play in American football. I'm not even sure they were 100 yards. The one in my town's not 100 yards.
No, definitely not. They're quite small,
So it's
aren't
not.
they?
Yeah. So your entire premise is ridiculous, Dan. They're not even regulation-sized monsoon shops.
Well, I'll go measure the one in Watford tomorrow, and I'll let them know that it's happening on Saturday.
Just a picture of this. It's like, what are you doing?
Hold this, would
Making
you
sure
please?
you're
Thank
making
you.
sure you're in regulation. Get out a set of chains and do it properly. Do 10 sets of chains. It's just you and James. James at one end of the chains. You holding the other, just making sure that the shops.
James is whipping up the stuff. Come on, do this. Get on with it.
Brilliant.
Well, what actually is going on with the Texans? I mean, last season they were good, but this season they're even worse. And they fired Cully for, I thought, unfairly last season, and
Yes.
it's clearly not getting any better.
I get the feeling the Texans are sort of very quiet, or not even quietly at this point. They're just tanking. They're not interested.
In playing football ever, by the looks of
No,
things.
this is the thing. It's what name a play you would take from the Texans and put on like your team.
Damian Pierce, that's it.
Oh no, and the safety they drafted, I can't remember the name of.
Oh yeah,
He's playing really well.
he's playing well. Potentially Nico Collins as well.
Yeah,
He's
there's
good.
not a huge amount of talent on that Texans squad.
Laramie Tunsil as well.
I'm not sure I'd take him. Derek Singletary is the person I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Oh, good shout.
I would definitely take him.
Stingley Jr.
Stingley, sorry, yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
And
I just
Jalen
can't
Petrie.
read.
but they're not. There's no sort of clear building blocks there.
No.
There's sort of the odd bit of talent here and there, but there's no clear identity or building blocks to build around. You've got Davis Mills, who's a quarterback. He is a quarterback.
Davis Mills.
Chuck him in that pond with Jimmy Garoppolo and Andy Dalton and all of those.
He won't
he's
drown, though.
One of those guys.
Yeah.
'Cause his neck
David
is so
Mills
far
is
above
earning
the
his
Yeah,
future
he'll be
pay
fine. Yeah, his neck will keep him
for the
out.
next 10 years as a backup quarterback.
Yeah, he's going to be in our league forever, and we're going to be making neck jokes about him forever because he's just that kind of guy. You know,
He doesn't care
he's a
because he
Case
has
Keenum, he's a
50
Colt
million
McCoy. The Texans have nothing at the moment really to sort of build around or be excited about.
Their primary offensive weapon is Brandon Cooks, who never stays around on the teams he's on.
Does anyone else get the feeling that at some point Brandon Cooks is going to have a season, like a ridiculous season?
I
We're all
think
going to go,
lots
oh, Brandon
of
Books,
people have
Brandon
thought
Books.
that.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that's just kind of been a thought, like, yeah, he'll have his season here. That's
Yeah.
why we'll sign him.
It'll be one season though. Yeah.
He's always good.
Yes.
Yeah. Brandon Cooks is a great number 2 or 3 receiver.
I think the Texans are a funny one because it does feel like they saw what the Eagles did and went, we'll just do that. Be easy. We'll just do that. How are you going to do it? Just hope we pick the right players, I suppose. As it turns out, Jalen Petrie's quite good as well, safety. And yeah, Derek Stingley Jr., both as we've mentioned before, both very good. So maybe build forwards now across.
Yeah.
But
this is the thing, is they're very much at the start of a rebuild. So they're just going to suck. Because they want high picks. They want to get, more quarterback. They want to get a quarterback in that's better than Davis Mills. They want to get some form of receiving options and running backs and stuff like that. That they want as many players as they can find. Because at the moment they've got basically.
yeah.
Is there anything else we want to talk about from week 6 before we discuss a slightly more competitive Thursday night football game?
I mean, Geno Smith is still the MVP, so keep moving.
See the guy that plays for the Bills?
No, I only see Geno. It's the all I see.
All right, so let's talk about this week's Thursday night football game. The Arizona Cardinals. None of those teams.
It is the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, they are.
Yes,
playing.
but they're not traveling anywhere, which was what I was going to say. The New Orleans Saints are traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Although these teams are not good, at least they're entertaining and terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, this game should be better than the last two.
Definitely. I think it's still Andy Dalton playing quarterback for the Saints, so we're going to see plenty of Dan's favorite quarterback in this game.
Taysom Hill.
Love him.
Yes.
Love him. Absolute difference maker. Real offensive weapon. Whatever position he plays, he's the all-pro at it. So, just... I want him to do badly so bad.
I can't wait for him to be on the Bears and Dan have to like him through gritted teeth.
I wouldn't. I can't. I like. What's annoying is I understand how well he's playing at the moment, and I totally accept it, and I totally take my hat off to Taysom Hill. But I'm still just giving him an angry kind of like eyes slightly twitching kind of look as I'm taking my hat off to him.
This is like my bizarre hatred of James Harden.
Yeah,
I love them. It's just like, I hate the way you play basketball. I get that you're really talented, but I hate it.
I just hate when it works. Like, it's just...
Yeah, that makes me even more angry.
Yeah, like, why is it working? It shouldn't work. It should be rubbish. Why isn't it rubbish? I liked it when it was rubbish.
He's gonna run. Oh, he's running.
He does. Everyone just stands out of the way and goes, whoa, Taysom Hill's running. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so
But
frustrating.
he's an effective weapon, but what they're paying him, he's not worth that.
No,
obviously.
definitely not. Yeah, thanks, Bass. That's an angle I hadn't even thought about. Yeah. No, you're right. He's way overpaid.
So do we think the Cardinals defense have what it takes to stop Taysom Hill?
No.
Will they tackle him while he's trying to run the ball?
Can they tackle?
Maybe. But, I mean, they're not great. JJ Watt will have a couple of good moments, but he's about 1,000 years old at this point, so that's all he's good for is a couple of moments.
I'm trying to get my head around this. Who is the star player on the Cardinals defense?
I think the best player is probably Buda Baker, yeah.
Buda Baker, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not that great.
He's decent.
He's good, but he's not like...
He's not a pro.
You're probably happy with him, but if it's your best defensive player, yeah, there's an issue.
Yeah, you'd be happy with Buda Baker being on a good defense, but on a crap defense, it's just like, oh, man.
Oldest roster in the NFL as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they've just picked up some more receiving talent though, so that's going to iron over the cracks.
Problem solved.
Yeah,
Robbie, you're playing
definitely.
corner. Yeah.
He's played tackle or something.
Yeah. The one thing they've got going for them is that the Saints come into this one with a ton of injuries as well. So, like, Michael Thomas is out, Jarvis Landry's out.
Olave's back.
Is Olave back?
Yeah,
Olave's back. Yeah.
Okay, that's something at least.
Yeah.
Someone
so
for
good.
Taysom Hill to throw to.
He does as well, and that's what's annoying, right? Because like he will throw. It's just... I can't justify why I'm annoyed. That's what's most annoying about it. Because I sit there and go, yeah, no, you're right. He is a good thrower. Yeah, fuck him. What a prick. Giant fucking head as well. He's got a massive head. That's all I've got. He's got a massive head.
This has been the best show we've ever done. Just because of how annoyed you're getting at Taysom Hill.
I understand. Like, yeah, I can't wait till he's up there with a yellow jacket. I'm still going, what a prick. Deserves it, but what a prick. Single-handedly winning him that Super Bowl.
Oh, brilliant. So, who do we think is going to win this game? Let's start with our guest.
I think the Saints are going to win this. I think they're a much better put together organisation. Thursday night games tend to come down to who is not going to shit the bed the most. And especially the last couple of games, it was definitely that. And it was literally looking for patches of bed that don't have any shit on it. And in this one, I think the Saints are much better at putting together a game plan on a short week with Andy Dalton, Chris Olave back as well. We might see an Alvin Kamara game, which we haven't really seen this year so far, against a aging, not great Cardinals defense. And I think even without Marshall and Lattimore, they can slow down what the Cardinals are doing on offense as well. Yeah, I think the Saints are going to take this one.
Okay, Saints for Dan. What about you, Baz? Who have you got in this game?
Yeah, I'm going with Saints as well. There's only one good unit on the field here, and that's the Saints defense. So, I think the Cardinals defense and the Saints offense will see some points there, but the Cardinals will have to count on Murray magic. Although it will be interesting to see Hopkins back, what happens then.
Yeah.
But then again, cover Hopkins, and if we go back to previous seasons, Murray will stare down Hopkins all day. So every other player will suffer from that.
Seen his video? He's just released a video like don't call it a comeback video. And Simon's already commented, well, we'll call it a PED suspension instead, shall we? So, you know. Sorry,
really
Simon, I love you.
Yeah, no, it's got to be the Saints.
Who have you got, Phil?
Yeah, I went for the Saints on the grounds that they have the better overall team. So the Cards may have the better quarterback, but they've got nothing to go with that. Whereas the Saints do.
Yep, I have to agree with everybody. It's really difficult to predict what the Cardinals are going to do on any given game. They've got the talent to beat the Saints, and if Kyler Murray has one of his best games, they can beat the Saints. But you can't predict that kind of thing from week to week. The Saints, the defense, despite everything that's going well with the Saints, the defense is still a top 10 defense. I think unless Kyler Murray completely blows the doors off and just runs around so we can get home and play COD, then I think the Saints are winning this. So I'm also picking the Saints, and Ryan is picking the Saints as well, which means there will be no movement in our little league we've got going on. Ryan will still be in first place, followed by me, then Baz, then Phil. So, cool. Thank you very much, guys. I've had a lot of fun chatting football with you fellas tonight. Thank you to everybody who watched in the chat and for your participation. If you're watching this in the future, please leave us a comment. underneath or give this stream a like. It really, really helps us out, and we do appreciate it. So, until next time, goodbye, everybody.
Keep waving. He hasn't hit stop yet.